How many neurons you got?
Straight up.
How many neurons you got?
Straight up.
How many neurons you got?
Straight up.
How many neurons you got?
A lot.
How many neurons you got?
A lot.
How many brain cells you got?
A lot.
How many neurotransmitters?
A lot.
How many synapses you got?
A lot.
How many lobes you got?
A lot.
How many hormones you got?
A lot.
3 means how many thoughts?
A lot.
Brain uses how many watts?
A lot.
Systems does your brain lend?
A lot.
How many messages does your brain send?
A lot.
How many messages your brain receive?
A lot.
How much on your brain you depend?
A lot.
How many things your brain perceive?
A lot.
Space to take up in your head?
A lot.
How many memories inside your brain your hippocampus forgot?
A lot.
To begin this verse, let's start with the basics. Comes to the brain, the neurons, the basis. They send message your whole body through, from stubbing your toe to munching your food. Speaking of food, mention the hypothalamus directs mating activities in all of us. Eating and drinking in our body temperature governs the endocrine, just like a senator linked to emotion and to reward to the hippocampus where memory is stored. In the living system is the amygdala linked to emotion to help keep control of it. Control processing center, cerebral cortex, connects the brain with a fabric that is quite complex. Thalamus is our sensory switchboard, transmits lots of message towards cerebellum, medulla, and the cortex. Done with the thalamus, onto the next. Pituitary gland regulates growth and control over what the endocrines roll. Linking 2 parts of the brain is the corpus callosum, spans the 2 halves and sends messages crossing. Brainstem swells as it enters the skull, connects the brain to the rest of the whole, responsible for automatic survival functions. Oldest part of the brain is more letters than onions. How many neurons you got?
A lot.
How many brain cells you got?
A lot.
How many neurotransmitters?
A lot.
How many synapses you got?
A lot.
How many lobes you got?
A lot.
How many hormones you got?
A lot.
3 means how many thoughts?
A lot.
Brain uses how many watts?
A lot.
Systems does your brain lend?
A lot.
How many messages does your brain send?
A lot.
How many messages your brain receive?
A lot.
How much on your brain you depend?
A lot.
How many things your brain perceive?
A lot.
Space to take up in your head?
A lot.
How many memories inside your brain your hippocampus forgot?
A lot.
I walk into room 807 one day, and this title hits us with this crazy assignment. Write a song about the brain. Now this is what I like to see. Ain't no typical project. Gives me an opportunity to flex some bars on y'all. So let's get to it. Cerebellum, it does quite a lot. Back of the brainstem spot. Sensory input and coordinates movement, dealing with balance that helps you to trot. Brainstem includes a couple of things. Does a lot more than you think. Medulla and reticular formation. Come together and work as a team. Few things they're controlling. Medulla's got heartbeat and breathing. Reticular formation got arousal, nerve reference little thing. Frontal lobe is part of cortex, directly behind your forehead. Deals with speaking and muscle movements, making plans, and making judgments. To the temporal lobes, we will transition. Auditory purpose to help you to listen. Next is the parietal lobes, sensory input and body position. Dealing with sight, we got the occipital. This lobe deals with everything visual. Wraps up everything with the lobes, so let's talk about the brain and the topic more general. Everyone thinking they got a big brain, but they all are wrong, and that isn't gonna change. Because in reality, all of our brains are the same, so being a big brain isn't nothing to proclaim. People be claiming 200 IQ, but you watch when they act and you know it ain't true, and that is the fact. So you tell them this, you study the brain and you learn about you. How many neurons you got straight up?
Man, y'all want anything at Taco Bell?
We're recording. Can I get 2 tacos up?